A strange green light blanketed the entire Earth. The astronauts in space desperately tried to reach ground control, but got no response whatsoever. One of them pulled up the global surveillance feed. What they saw was shocking. In a massive stadium, every single person had turned to stone. No matter which region he switched to, the footage showed the same result. From what they could tell, only the 6 of them aboard the space station had been spared. But staying up here wasn't exactly a solution. Ishigami Byakuya proposed returning to Earth, but the others pushed back. They figured the situation was still unclear, and with 7 billion people on the planet, survivors would surely come to their rescue eventually. But Byakuya shot that down. Based on the available intel, all 7 billion humans had been turned to stone. There was no rescue coming. He insisted the 6 of them existed for one reason: to save humanity. Using the time differences in Twitter updates across the globe, Byakuya reverse-engineered the origin point of the petrification beam. It had started from somewhere in South America, so they decided to crash land on the opposite side, in Japan. Without ground control to guide them, their landing site could easily veer off course. They split into 2 teams, with 3 heading down first. The good news? They didn't turn to stone after landing. The bad news? They'd overshot their target and splashed down in the middle of the ocean. The second they cracked that hatch open, seawater would flood in and drown them. Luckily, they had about 9 hours of oxygen left in the capsule, so the other 3 kicked off a rescue mission. Byakuya decided to land on the nearest island, then mount the rescue from there. 8 hours flew by. The oxygen in the capsule was running dangerously low. They should have been conserving it by staying still, but then Lillian started singing. Turns out Byakuya was already rowing toward them in a small boat. His arrival saved all 3 of them, and that's how they ended up on an island as far from the petrification beam as you could get. Everyone there had been turned to stone, and there was no modern transportation to speak of. They were stuck on this island for good. Fortunately, as astronauts, they'd been through plenty of survival training. Roughing it in the wild was nothing they couldn't handle. To keep the flame of humanity alive, they split into 3 teams and paired off as couples, but without medical equipment. Even a minor illness could take them out. To preserve human civilization, Byakuya compiled all their knowledge into stories called the 100 Tales, passing them down through their children, generation after generation. The final page was dedicated to Senku because Byakuya was Senku's father. He believed with everything he had that his son would one day break the petrification.